my favorite thinkers, Kropotkin. From his marvelous book called The Conquest of Bread. I had a hard time figuring out what to read to you exactly. But then I figured that perhaps in this case some of the best known quotes were also some of those that best encapsulated his thought. I hope you find these quotes inspiring and thought-provoking, and hopefully for those of you who have not read his work yet, they will be a good invitation. The means of production being the collective work of humanity. The product should be the collective property of the race. Individual appropriation is neither just nor serviceable. All belongs to all. All belongs to all. All things are for all men, since all men have need of them. Since all men have worked in the measure of their strength to produce them, and since it is not possible to evaluate everyone's part in the production of the world's wealth, all things are for all. Here is an immense stock of tools and implements. Here are all those iron slaves which we call machines, which saw and plane, spin and weave for us, unmaking and remaking, working up raw matter to produce the marvels of our time. But nobody has the right to seize a single one of these machines and say, "This is mine." If you want to use it, you must pay me a tax on each of your products, any more than the feudal lord of medieval times had the right to say to the peasant, "This hill belongs to me, and you must pay me a tax on every sheaf of corn you reap, on every brick you build. All is for all. All is for all. If the man and the woman bear their fair share of work, they have a right to their fair share of all that is produced by all, and that share is enough to secure them well-being. No more of such vague formulas as the right to work, the right to work, or to each the whole result of his labor. What we proclaim is the right to well-being, well-being for all. In our civilized societies, we are rich. Why then are the many poor? Why this painful drudgery for the masses? Why even to the best paid workmen, this uncertainty for the morrow in the midst of all the wealth inherited from the past, and in spite of the powerful means of production, which could ensure comfort to all in return for a few hours of daily toil. All is for all, but capital goes wherever there are men, poor men enough to be exploited. Poverty, we have said elsewhere, was the primary cause of wealth. It was poverty that created the first capitalist, because before accumulating surplus value, of which we hear so much, men had to be sufficiently destitute to consent to sell their labor so as not to die of hunger. It was poverty that made capitalists. I read a few quotes. I chose the order, and I'm pretty sure that I made a few mistakes here and there. Also, English is not my native language, but I hope that these sentences have inspired you to read Kropotkin's work, whilst relaxing you as well. Thank you once again. I hope you have a wonderful, pleasant, and revolutionary day.